Hey there, survivors and thrivers. Welcome back to my channel to a brand new video this week with me, the Motherless Millennial. So I started to think about things that sideswiped me, honestly, right after I lost my parents. I was younger, young adult, teenager, and I think if maybe I was better prepared for these things, maybe it wouldn't have added an extra layer of stress to the situation, from like physical things that happened all the way to just dealing with my parents' affairs, things that I didn't know about. So honestly, I'm covering a range of things, and this week I'm getting practical. We're talking about 5 things that sort of threw me for a loop after I lost my parents. So this way, maybe you can be better prepared, or if you're going through this, maybe you can relate. So keep watching this video to the end to get more information about these 5 things and how they happened to me, and just more information on them, so maybe you can be better prepared. First thing that you may already be aware of, but if not, you may lose the desire to eat. And I love to eat, so when I literally just food I couldn't, it really shocked me. And it's not necessarily that you're not hungry, you may just not have the energy, and your stomach is just weird, like the nausea. So yeah, you may not want food for a little while. And side note, I actually talk about or go deeper into sort of how grief manifests physically in our bodies, and how it's important to grieve and grow, not only for obviously our mental health, but literally physically too. And I talk about how some of the way grief physically manifested in me, especially in the early years. So you can check out that video too, because I go more in depth. But let's get back to it. For our loved ones, if you're trying to help us in that moment, which for a lot of people, food is the first thing they do with, love and care, like, eat something. Just give us a couple hours, maybe even a day, just give us a minute. Don't shove food in our face. Don't keep badgering us about eating, because literally, like, your stomach feels like it fell out. And sometimes you just can't even find the energy or stomach the thought of eating. So just give us a couple hours, give us some time, maybe even a day or two. And, we'll get to the point where we'll wander in somewhere and find food, but just FYI. The second sort of random thing that sideswiped me was that you may get removed from your family home quicker than you think. This happened to me, and it just all escalated very fast. I mean, in less than 2.5 months, we had moved out, half my stuff was in storage, and I no longer had a real home. I no longer had a room or a place to really call my own. My twin bed in my dorm at college became the most consistent place I had, and I had to share that with random strangers. And really, for the next 4.5 years to 5 years after that, I was a bit of a nomad, hopping from place to place, couch to couch. It was always, "Oh, Shelby, you can come stay over here, you can come stay over here. Who's gonna pick up Shelby? Who's gonna let Shelby stay?" Like, it was just always that. And I feel like in the movies, sometimes that people's parents die and, you get left the home and stuff, but that just did not happen for me. And it was very real, and I wish I would have known. I thought at least I would still have that, and it was not the truth at all. A place that I had known for years, had called my home, disappeared in a matter of months. And this is where I think more lessons and transparency need to be brought in with parents, and even me as I become an adult and one day, have children, to, think more thoroughly about what is going to happen to your child when you pass away. Do you have all your ducks in a row to make sure, you have things set in place for people who know, okay, if something happens to me, you'll take my child, or they'll stay here, because we just get tossed around and it becomes so stressful, and you feel like an orphan, which I guess technically you are. And, you start to feel like wasting everybody's time or being a burden, which I have a video about that as well. You're not, but it can start to feel that way. So that's a lesson too. And like I said, even me, as I continue to grow up and one day, mother my own children, to make sure if something happens to me, they have somewhere to go, because it's stressful as hell not having a place. The third random thing is, once your parents pass, you'll need to get death certificates like ASAP. I mean, right away. Like, get them right away. You don't think that you'll need them, but you'll start to need them for everything. You'll need to get them right away, but nobody really tells you that. More importantly, not only are you getting them ASAP? You need to keep them within like reaching distance of you, because everybody will start to need them, because everybody will want proof, like you lying, right? But everybody will need proof that they have passed accounts, if you're trying to get money, if you're trying to get ownership of something, everything. And it'll be overwhelming, especially at the age that I was as a teenager. You know, you're like, oh, like you don't even, like where do you get death certificates? You don't know. It's the Office of Vital Records, FYI. But anyway, most Office of Vital Records anyway. But yes, you'll need to keep them, make copies, because everybody will want to see them. Like everywhere you go, they'll be like, where them death certificates at? I remember when I had to get them for financial aid at college, and I think I maybe had my mom still because she passed early on, but I hadn't necessarily got my dad's yet. And I didn't really realize that, because I had done financial aid before he passed, did my fast fund stuff. But, they needed proof now that my situation had changed and all of this. And they really would not do anything until I had it. And so I had to go get it and make copies and whatever. And I just remember bawling my eyes out because it was the first time I had seen it where it had listed, yes, your dad is dead on paper. And it really just ruined my day that day. And I was just crying in my room and it was just a whole mess. But literally, I kept them like in a little safe in my room because I always had to whip them out for people to see that what really happened to me happened. So tip, get somebody to help you with these early on, or have somebody designated to, get them for you or make copies for you or something. And another FYI, you can actually get, if I'm not mistaken, you can get death certificates actually from the funeral home. You can let them know, and you can get them actually through the funeral home when you plan the services. But after the fact, you can also get them from your state's vital records office most of the time, but it could take forever. I learned the hard way, trust me. But yes, get the death certificates, rip the Band-Aid off, keep them nearby because you will need them. The fourth random thing is that you'll have to figure out what to do with their vehicles. And this is a short one for me, but more pertaining to my dad. I thought I was gonna get his truck. My dad had like this little old truck. I told y'all he was a country guy. And I thought I was kind of gonna get it, and I didn't. And in my head, I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll get dad's truck even when I'm home for the summer, but that did not happen. And it's actually still like sitting in my sister's driveway, collecting dust and weeds, but somebody will have to figure out what to do with their cars, and that may fall on you. Or you may think that automatically, you'll get that car, so at least that's one thing you'll have. But no, it wasn't. And I didn't even get my first car until I was 22 and out of college, so keep that in mind. And the fifth random thing that sideswiped me that maybe might happen to you, so hopefully be prepared, is that you'll run into people who either have not gotten the memo, haven't seen the Facebook post, the pictures, something, and think your parents are still alive, run into you and ask how they were doing, or tell your dad, mom to call me, and you'll have to look like this and proceed to tell them that they're not here anymore. And the worst thing is that they'll be talking so fast because in their heads, nothing has changed. And so you'll just have to wait there trying to find like a moment to interrupt them to be like, yeah, no, they're, And then you have to wait for them to finish, try to find a moment, tell them, watch their face change crazily. Then they usually start to cry. And then now you're being triggered because now you're trying to console them and you're the one who really needs to be consoled. So that actually happens a lot early on until the news just really spreads to everybody that it needs to spread to. And I really wanted to be a little bit of an eye-opener for parents. And as we all in this situation grow to have children of our own, to make sure we're planning as thoroughly as we can, because we've been through this, we've dealt with it. People like me in this particular situation, I've been thrown around or random things happened that I didn't know how to do and didn't know where I was gonna go. To be better prepared and make plans and backup plans for our children when the time comes, and for people who are, alive and well and have children, making sure you have a plan and a will and godmothers or people-in-laws, whoever and whatever, lined up so that this doesn't happen to you and yours, because it really can add an extra layer of stress to the whole situation. So educate your kids, talk to your kids, and as we out here, the parentless, grow up to have our own children, let's be mindful, because we definitely don't want our own children having to go through this down the line. We can do better. As always, I appreciate you so much for visiting my channel, taking the time to watch this video. Feel free to go back to my channel and watch any of the other videos that I have there. I hope there'll be some help to you. Actually, I know there'll be some help to you, so you should definitely go check them out. And as always, please like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel so that I can always be here for you. And you should definitely go ahead and follow me on Instagram at the Motherless Millennial, so that you can stay in touch with me there. You know, I post great content, inspirational words. I share some of my story there too. And you'll get updates about my YouTube videos and snippets. So please go ahead and do so. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Have a good day. And I guess that's all for now. Bye.